it on? Is it on? Hi guys, welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, let's just make sure. All right, let's see. Oh, hello guys, welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. Can you see me on Instagram? I don't know why. I think I'm having some technical difficulties today. So if you are, give me a second. I think my internet froze. Anyways, hi Denise, thank you. Okay, I wanted to double check to make sure that we were on. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get onto Instagram because unfortunately it's giving me some issues. I don't know why. So just give me 1 minute and I promise you I'll get on Instagram. We'll wait. Susana Lopez Renteria, how are you? We'll wait just a quick minute so that I can be able to get these things going. So let's go to a live right there. Perfect. All right. She just woke up. Sorry, guys. You'll see the back of her head for a little bit. She just woke up. So Instagram, hello. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Hello, hello, hello. I want to make sure that you guys, Sheree, how are you, beautiful? Thank you for jumping on. We're going to wait a little bit just to be able to, oh, awesome, Velia. Thank you so much. You're on Facebook. Great, great, great. Hello, hello, Liliana, Beatrice, Mrs. Froggy 87. Who else? Pubtown Boutique. How are you? Mommy Creative. Debbie Orozco. Hello, Moni. She's a doll. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know since I'm home, I like posting videos when I realize I think you guys get more videos than anybody else. So I just want to say thank you guys for the love and the support. Let's see. What the Pug. How are you? Mommy Creative. Who else is on here? Ayuda en Español. Morning Love. How are you? Inspiration Daily 89, Gigi Guzman, Jax. All right, Marty, go. Hey, Marty. Erica, how are you? Okay, great. Welcome to Queen Bee. How are you? Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday, guys. You hear my dog having a little attack back there. He's perfectly fine, I promise. He does that randomly. So welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. I actually really look forward to Wealthy Wednesdays as much as I do to Tuesdays. So just wanted to say thank you so much for your love and your support. I really appreciate it. So let's get right to it. Total dumb moment, I just got to tell you guys. I was like, it's not working on Facebook. How come it's all black? And then I realized that I had the camera. I covered the camera. So because I covered the camera, I couldn't see myself. So duh. Anyways, so welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is the quick, I have 1 minute to get ready. Look, hey Tanya, how are you? So welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. If this is your first time, please post that it's your first time and post the city that you are tuning in from. If this is not your first time, you guys know to post the city and your 3 favorite emojis. If you guys can do that, that would be fantastic. And also, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Wealthy Wednesdays. Wealthy Wednesdays was created to be able to help you just gain perspective on certain financial things. And I invite you into, our home and to different viewpoints. Again, they're not the only viewpoint. It's just a different viewpoint of things. And today I wanted to talk about something that I think is really important because I think it's important that we learn the basics of money, right? So we'll get to that. Wilmington, all right, awesome. Rancho Cucamonga, love all those. I love all those. Portland, Oregon, love it. Rosita in the house. Okay, fantastic. So I also wanted to acknowledge the boot camp participants that there was about 103 participants in yesterday's. Keep posting them. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, perfect. First time. Hopefully it's not your last time from Hawaiian Gardens. I want to acknowledge 103 participants that just completed the boot camp for week 2. They still have 3 more weeks to go. And just from the feedback, oh, thank you for that. From the feedback that I have received a lot of positive feedback in regards to, wanting to do this and continuously doing this. So just wanted to say thank you guys for that. I know Debbie, if you're currently on the boot camp, please put on here boot camp, because this way you guys can hit them up, send them a message, say, hey, what's going on? What do you think about it? Because we are going to have one last boot camp, and that's going to be September 15th is the last one for the year. We are going to open up enrollment next week. So next Wealthy Wednesday, you'll be able to register for it, but it will be the last one for the year. And it will also be the last one priced at the $99. So take advantage of it. Tell your friends about it, your comadres, your primas, everybody. Tell everybody about it. Everybody needs it at one point. On boot camp, love it. Debbie Orozco just said that. Beautiful. So I just want to acknowledge them, and I also want to take a moment. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on social media world, and it's important that we understand what to feed our minds. So again, thank you guys for taking the time to feed your minds with me and with this community, because as you guys can see, we don't just have first timers, we have people that have been jumping on for years already. So thank you for that. And I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, if you want to get a free copy of my book, you can go to evamacias.com and put your email. We'll send you a free copy of my book. If you actually want a hardcover, then you can order that on amazon.com. You'll get it in about 1 or 2 days, right? I think Amazon's delayed a little bit by a day or so. But anyways, you can get it through Amazon. It's $20. Get it. Hopefully you'll have some time to read it through this quarantine time. And also, again, like I said, we created Wealthy Wednesdays. I am also the founder of not the founder, I'm actually the owner of Eva Macias and Associates Financial and Insurance Services. And why do I say that is because you can go online. We are booking, I think, appointments for September and October, as you guys know, because I have a daughter. It's the work-life balance. And so I am seeing clients, not physically. I'm actually doing phone calls now. So we do your first phone call. We'll see if we're a fit for one another, if we can work together. If we can, I'll let you know. And if we can't, I'll give you some resources of where to go. So again, you're more than welcome to book appointments on evamacias.com. Again, check it out. Check it out. Give me one sec. Babe, cover her. She just woke up. Her head. All right. Let's get into the topic. So today's topic of the day, I wanted to talk to you guys about the difference between, or actually I'm going to ask you guys right now. Do you, right off of the top of the head, of your head, if I ask you, do you know how much money you bring net versus gross? Would you guys know that right now? Like, not to the exact penny, but more or less, like you're like, oh yeah, I get, and I always use my example, I get $5,000 net every month. And some people will be like, which one's the net and which one's the gross? So if I ask you that right now, be honest with yourselves, okay? Debbie said, no, I don't know. And let me tell you something. I've seen, Tesla O2 said yes. I have seen a lot of paychecks from different places. And let me tell you that a lot of paychecks are complicated to read. I have had, Shrey says yes because of boot camp. Woo, woo. No, okay, perfect. And for those that say no, I want to just acknowledge you because it's not easy saying, oh my God, I don't really even know how to read my paycheck. Okay, let me tell you something. I know what it is, but no, I don't pay much attention. Okay. They are very complex. You'd be surprised, payroll wasn't as crazy as it is now. I see these formulas, like even I remember I was a licensed marriage family therapist. She was telling me how she gets paid, and I was like, that is so complicated, so complicated. And she was getting very little money. Hey, Amy, she was getting very, very little money. And I was like, wow. I'm like, okay, let's break this down. Does this really make sense? So again, I invite all of you to take a moment to ask yourself, do you currently know what your net take-home money looks like, right? And also, do you know how to read what's on your paycheck, right? Just every single line item. I have had people who said, yes, I know how to read my paycheck. And yet when I was asking about what is this, they'd be like, I have no idea. So just because you know how to read your paycheck does not mean you know where the money's really going, okay? And so that's very, very, very important. So I'm going to get to it. Gross is before taxes. So I remember someone helping me, right? This was years ago, helping me understand that is the way I look at it, it's gross because this is how much I should be making, but after taxes, it's the net. So Marley wants my attention because Camila's not around, by the way. So again, the gross is how much you make before taxes. So before all of the subtractions. So before taxes, before Social Security, before any retirement accounts, before anything that you actually instructed to go before paying life insurances, additional life insurances through work, before paying, federal and state taxes. So gross is before taxes. After tax is considered your net, your take home. Okay? So for some people, you may net the same amount because you work the same hours, right? It will be different if there's overtime. But I'm talking about a check without overtime, without holiday pay, without any of that. So really your gross is before, right? So I'm just going to do simple math. I make $7,000 gross, but after taxes and all of my deductions, I take home $5,000. You're like, well, where did the $2,000 go? Well, it could have gone to, well, it'll go to federal and state taxes. It will go to Social Security. It will go to, let's just say, any additional life insurance, supplemental life insurances, any type of cancer policies, disability policies, anything that you may have. And two, employers allow you to sometimes, through your paycheck, allow you to put money into your savings account already. So maybe your net will be what you take home, but you might have instructed your employer to actually take, let's just say, again, I'm going to stick to simple math. $500 gets to go into my savings. So really I'm netting $4,500. But then you would say, no, but you're really netting $5,000. Yes, however, the goal is for you not to out of sight, out of mind with those $500, right? So usually with boot camp, and when you come see me, yes, medical, dental, vision, all of those wonderful things. So usually my goal for you is when you, for example, once you already have an established retirement plan with your employer, like a 401k, like a 403b, like a 457, any deferred comp, any of that stuff, and or and Social Security, PERS, STRS, LACERA, all of those. My goal is that you guys have not all of them, but 2 of those. On top of that, get an additional one. And so my goal is that you have 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 multiple streams of income for retirement. This is why it's so important that you guys understand the paycheck process, because some people will know it comes in, but as much as it comes in, it goes out. Yes, but we have to really take a look at what's really happening. If you know you're a big spender, maybe what needs to happen automatically is out of your paycheck, out of your gross amount, you need to notify your HR department to send paying yourself first, not only through your 401k or through your retirement plan, but also into your savings account. So that might just mean that you send, instead of you actually making the transfer from your checking to your savings, that you automatically let your employer, I want you every single month to put $500 into this account, right? Account 1, 2, 3. And the reason why is because if you know you're a spender, and most people are, what happens is the money that you take home, you'll make all the necessary adjustments so that this way you're not just spending that just frivolous on things that you don't need. So yes, there is I just read that, and yes. Red Shell message me in regards to that. So if you, I'm just going to answer this question in regards to the IRAs. There are limits, and it depends on your age. But most importantly, it's if you have a retirement plan through work, like a 401k, I would say take advantage of those 401k, 403, 457s. Those have larger amounts that you can contribute than if you were to just open up an IRA. A traditional IRA will give you a $6,000 cap. So I would say if you have an employer plan, stick to those because you're able to put in more money. And you can still have, for example, Roth IRAs, which are still going to limit you to the amount. You can still have non-qualified plans. So you can still have more, but you can put more away through your employee sponsored plans, like your 401ks, like your 457s, like your 401ks, 403bs, right? 401as, all those fantastic numbers that, I mean, as long as the word is retirement, then it falls into, there's so many of them. So again, you'll fall into one of them, right? So it is really important that you understand that. So today, the reason why I wanted to explain that to you from the gross to the net is because if you get paid, like I'm just going to use a teacher. Teachers get paid once a month. So they need to, let's just say they get paid on the 5th of the month. And so they need to stretch their net income the whole month to make sure that they have money every single month. And mind you, I get it. You guys teachers don't get paid the summer times. And even to that, they actually have to save money in what they're called summer savers. So this way they have money for those 2 months that they don't get paid. So teachers are really technically forced to be able to be really good savers because they get the summer off, right? So that's usually for people that get paid once a month. Let's just say you work for a private company and you get paid biweekly. So knowing that, let's just say the 1st and the 15th, just because it's just easy, the 1st and the 15th. So if you got paid, let's just say $2,500, $5,000 a month, what happens usually is one of your paychecks is going to be a little bit more than the other. Why? Because they're going to deduct, usually what I've seen them deduct more on one than the other. Okay? So it could be that's why it's sometimes a little off. So let's just say one of them, if you total up to $5,000, you're supposed to get $5,000. You may see one paycheck to be $2,000 and then the next paycheck to be $3,000. And it might be because they've already done the math and they've taken off all of that from one paycheck, right? Then for those that get paid every week, I have seen people get paid every week. It could be every Friday. It is important that you understand because if you do get paid every week, most people will do their payroll on Friday. So because of the fact that even if it's the same amount weekly, I don't think I understand the question correctly. So it has happened to someone that I know where they get paid every Friday. Good thing is every Friday they have money. Bad thing is that the weekend comes right after Friday. So if you know you're a spender, it is important that you right there and then divide your monies, right? For example, if you are that spender and you get that money on Friday, you should know that out of every single paycheck, you should give yourself that allowance of how much to spend on the weekend and then the rest put away. So that's really important as well. Okay. Why? Because you just got to know what your habits are. I think for the most part, we all really know what our habits are. We just sometimes fail to see or fail to want to see because then that forces us to see where we could improve. And sometimes we don't really want to take a look at that. And so I say that because until you do, it's when it's going to get better, right? So again, if you're like, I don't really know how to read my statement, I don't really know what this means, do not ever feel afraid to go into your HR department and sound dumb, okay? Trust me, we all learn. And so I would say for those that are spenders, talk to your HR department, set up a savings account where you don't touch out of sight, out of mind, and just forget about it and automate it. I mean, definitely check the balances here and there, but what I'm saying is just boom, get that taken care of, right? And so that's really important. And then understanding the gross and the net, because you have to understand when you get your statement at the end of the year on how much money you made, it'll also tell you how much taxes you contributed. The reason why some people still pay taxes is because they haven't paid the IRS enough taxes, so therefore they pay at the end of the year. And then for those, and obviously it gets way more complicated than that. I'm not a tax preparer, I'm not a CPA, I don't pretend to be, but just so that you know, just very logistic. So at the end of the day, when you make your adjustments, right, your withholdings, how many withholdings you have, you get to also pay attention to that. Because I have had people where they had the wrong withholdings. They were getting too much tax taken out, but then they're like, oh, but I really like having my money at the end of the year, but they're struggling every month to pay their bills. So again, it is important that you know what's going on and that you also understand what's needed in your household. So the goal is that with the net income that comes in, with that, then we're going to create a budget that's going to be fulfilling the 5 areas of your life: housing, transportation, other living expenses, debt, if any, and savings and investing. So the goal is once we know what your net looks like, then we're able to distribute it even more and break it down even more so that you really know where all of your monies is going on a month-to-month basis. And at the beginning, it might be uncomfortable. At the beginning, it might seem overwhelming, but overall, yes. But it's just a matter of you getting used to the lingo, getting used to that. I know I currently have someone, I'll I don't want to put her on blast or anything, but she's an alumni and she's like, I have a really hard time opening up a savings account. And I said, well, start small. Open up a savings account, put $25 a week. That's $100 a month. start doing that just to see how that feels. And she's like, you know what? Like at the beginning, she was really scared to do it. And once she did, she's like, it's not that bad. And then she started putting money in there and money in there. And now where it's like, oh, I'm going to up my savings from 25 to whatever. Let's just say it's $40 a week, right? Break it down to whatever that looks like for you. So if for you saving, let's just say $400 a month seems super like, oh my God, that's just way too much money. Like immediately it causes like this nasty feeling here. Or you start thinking, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Then break it down. Break it down. If you get paid, let's just say, break it down. If you get paid, low battery. If you get paid, obviously once a month, all of it's going to go into your savings. But if you get paid twice, come here, Marty. If you get paid twice a month, then that means that $200 and $200 would go. If you get paid every week, then that just means $100. Trust me when I tell you, I have seen people spend $100 on things they have no idea. Like you will probably not even miss it. You won't. And one of the other recommendations when it comes to your, not even recommendations, but things that I know have worked for people. It may not work for you, but this I've seen it work, okay? That's me struggling every month and they deduct a lot, okay? It is important that you learn to play tricks on yourself. It is important that you reprogram. I actually heard this from someone that I follow on Instagram, and she said this and it really resonated with me, and it continues to resonate with me. And it says this. It says, if you're a parent, you're going to parent your children, right? You're going to let them know, no, you can't have candy for dinner. You got to eat your veggies. No, you can't play video games. Like there's a limit on video games. No, you can't go to bed at midnight if you have school the next day, right? Like you parent your child. But who parents the parent? Think about that. Who parents you? I don't think if you're a grown man or woman that your parents are going to be calling you and saying, how are you doing with that money? How are you budgeting yourself every month? Like, I don't think any of the people that I know that their parents have done that. I don't even think any of my clients' parents have done that. It hasn't happened to me, right? So you kind of start asking yourself, who parents you? So who parents Eva? And really, it's no one. So it is really important that you start asking yourselves, if I were to parent myself, what is it that I need to do so that I can be able to create more, right? Those are really just boundaries, the boundaries that you create for yourself so that this way you can win in life, whatever that winning looks like for you. Winning for everybody looks different. Having a baby for me, winning was just taking a shower in the morning. Like that's, and that wasn't what the case was a few months back. Like for me, winning was seeing 6 clients a day, making sure I had breakfast, saw 6 clients a day, and got home at a decent time, 7 o'clock. Like that was winning for me. Now that completely went out the door. Winning is now taking a shower and making sure that, I can be there for Camila. And it sounds really crazy, but it's now learning how to reprogram what parenting looks like for you. And why am I talking about that as I'm talking about gross and net? Is because when you start to ask yourself, how can I reparent myself? Then you start thinking and looking at things like your paycheck. You're like, oh yeah, and I got an adult. This is what I need to do in order for me to have more and to be more, right? You have more, but you become more in that chapter. By you being able to save more, you have more, you give more. Because really the gift of giving, like when you give, you actually receive so much satisfaction. So the goal is that you realize what areas of my life, would I like to improve? What areas of my life would I like to reprogram, reparent myself? And if one of them is learning some of these basic fundamentals of financial literacy, then you're in the right spot. Wealthy Wednesdays for you every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Super commercial, right? But more importantly, it's just important for you guys to ask yourselves, like, what are some of the basics? I had a conversation today with someone at 4 o'clock, and, she asked me, she's like, I'm a single mom, and I want to be as responsible as possible. I've never learned any of this stuff. Like, I want to buy a house, and I have a child, and she literally starts breaking it down for me. And mind you, she's a responsible single parent. She does everything like she's saving, all that stuff. I said, well, I would up your savings. I'd make sure you get a IRA, and I would make sure you are consistent with savings. So this way you get to that goal of buying a house in those 5 years. And she's like, am I missing? And this is what she said. This is what she asked. She goes, am I missing anything else that I am not seeing? I said, yes, you're a single parent. Your child depends on you. I said, if you were to die today, and I use those words, if you were to die today, what happens? She's like, I've never thought about that. Okay, think about that. I said, you do need some sort of basic life insurance. And she's like, but how does that work? And I started explaining to her, I said, so if you're going to start, you're going to start with 1, 2, 3, and we're going to get you to buying the house in 5 years, right? She's like, oh, that makes so much sense. She didn't know, right? So again, sometimes we don't know, not because we're dumb or because we're uneducated. Sometimes we just don't know that those things exist. So her asking the question of what else do I need so that I can win? It was just me letting her know because she's being a responsible single parent, right? And whether she was single or not a single parent, I would still give her that. So I asked, does your employer provide any type of life insurance? And she said, no, they don't. I said, great. So then that means that you cannot depend on your employer for benefits per se. Then you need to start taking responsibility, and you pay for it out of your checking account versus out of your payroll check. And so she said, oh, I can do that? I said, yes, you can. So this is why it's so important that you know that even if your employer does not provide you with benefits like retirement plans, like life insurance, any of that, that you can actually be responsible and get those plans yourselves. I can definitely support you and help you guys in establishing those accounts, like a retirement account, like life insurances. So I'm not going to get into that, but you guys are more than welcome to make an appointment if you want to get started or know more about it, so that I can help you with your retirement and your life insurance. Also, another thing is understanding why it is so important. So all my boss babes out there, all of those that own their own businesses, why it's so important that you get on board very quickly. Because if you don't take care of you in your small business, nobody's going to take care of you. So when there's these big things going on like COVID-19, you then realize, man, I should have had this. That's when I think, not pandemics, but these times really make you realize what areas you need improvement on and what areas you're killing it. Because some of you are doing a fantastic job, and some of you just need a little push in the butt that says, you got this, you got this. So again, I'll always be your biggest cheerleader. I always tell this, I know that I just posted on here, love insurance with hearts. Let me tell you something. Today I was listening to a gentleman, and he's like a top coach in football and like super top 50, like just an amazing human. Ben Newman, I believe is his name. And he talked about how his mother has gone through this, and I'll leave the Wealthy Wednesday with this. There was a young lady who was a single mom who had this, I don't want to call it a disease, but they had an illness where the body was producing too much, she couldn't move and all this stuff. And yet, even though she couldn't move, she would still walk slowly from the one bedroom that they had into the dining room just to ask her son, how was your day today? Well, it happened to be that lady, there was someone who actually sold her life insurance, whatever it was, $100,000 term life insurance, one of the most inexpensive policies, and that funded his college education, because that was really important for her. So when she passed, that money was left for him, funded his college education, and now he's one of the top coaches and mentors in football, in like all these different sports. I mean, he was one of the top financial advisors. He actually is one of the top mentors for financial advisors. And I'm listening to him today in a workshop, in a what do you call it? In a conference, a virtual conference. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, that term life insurance of $100,000 saved this man's career, and it catapulted him to be the man that he is right now. And I literally, of course, because I immediately went into my heart, like his story and everything, I started crying and realizing like how many of you are just not taking care of you, your family, And it's not that complicated. It's really not. So when you have the basic understandings of your paycheck, then you can realize that you can afford those things that will ultimately make a difference in your family's lives, given pandemics, given we're going to go through a few more shits in this world. If you plan on living till you're 80 or 90, you're going to see some stuff. So understand that. Be prepared. We're going to have something else happen in, I don't know, a few years from now or whatever that looks like. Just know that you get to be ready for that. So this is an opportunity. If you weren't ready in 2008 for this pandemic gets to teach you what's next for whenever something else comes up. So again, it is important that you guys, again, it's really important that you guys realize what you need to do and take responsibility for it, because nobody is going to take care of you like yourself. And this is why it's so important to share the knowledge, the information. Really quickly, do you offer retirement plans with people that don't have Social Security? No, but there is a company, a life insurance company, that offers life insurance company for those that do not have Social Security numbers. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Good question. Do you recommend life insurance if you have no dependents? Absolutely. Life insurance is for everybody, especially if you don't have any savings, especially if you don't have any of that stuff, like you don't have anything, if you're leaving debt to your parents, if your parents are on a fixed income. Yes, absolutely. So again, you guys are more than welcome to send me messages in regards to your personal stuff. This is, again, more of a generalized, because I don't want you to be like, why Eva told me to go do this, and then it didn't work out for you, because I ain't about that life. So again, thank you guys. I hope that this was informative. I hope that this gave you a different perspective on things, and I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys being loyal to Wealthy Wednesdays, and again, set your alarms every Wealthy Wednesday at 7 o'clock live. What's the ballpoint monthly cost for life insurance? I will not be able to answer that question, because that question is a very general, very, very, very general question. But I can tell you this much. It depends on the plan. It depends on your health. It depends on so many different things. So I think it is, what's the best life insurance out there? It depends on your family dynamic. It depends on what you can afford. It depends on what the financial goal that you want to have accomplished. There's no one size fits all for life insurance, is what I'm saying. It's customized based on your needs, based on affordability, based on health, and so many other different things. So it's not like, oh, get this because this fits you. Trust me when I tell you, it is so customized for you and your family's needs. So just remember that, okay? So I have it through my employer, but would like to look into another one. Absolutely, please message me. I would love to be of help to you. So again, I appreciate your time, your energy, and have a fantastic Wealthy Wednesday. Bye, guys.